All right, you guys, Dr. Abby here. We are talking more about niching down today. So I'm an associate doc at CHIRO for moms, and it seems a little odd using the word associate. We don't use it that often here in the clinic, if really at all, but it ties in today's topic. So today we talked about cash practice stuff last week. We're going back into niching down this week, and a ton of questions have been coming in about associates. How to keep them around longer, what's the pay, what's the bonus, what are the responsibilities, you name it, the questions have come in. I myself can speak on behalf of being an associate doc, some of the ups, some of the downs, and like every job, there's a mixture of both. And I'm just gonna speak to what I've experienced in my time, and how that relates to talking to my fellow colleagues, my friends that have recently also graduated, who some of them have started their own clinics. And so that looks a little bit different than some of the docs like me who are joining an established clinic. So rewind, we are taught in school not much about marketing, if literally anything at all. So it's a whole new territory. And so this is not necessarily, if you are starting a clinic, you have to market yourself, right? You have to get your name known in some capacity. But for any associate that is stepping into an established clinic, it can be very intimidating because your biggest fear is that no one's going to come see you. That you are going to walk in and be like, I have no patience. No one's coming to see me. This doc, the owner of the clinic, is paying me to be here and I am not bringing in anybody. It is like a nightmare feeling. So you're expected to go market yourself. You are taught to go to expos and wellness fairs and different communities and give chair massages, or going and talking about your pricing, your different specials for new patients, all the different tactic rights to get patients into the doors. That's a lot of time. That is a lot of time. And I think it's also honoring, if you are an owner of a clinic and you're taking in associates, honoring that your associates also have a life outside of the clinic. And I mean that in the most honorable way, that they are absolutely there for you. But every person, I don't care who you are, does need time away from work, and finding that work-life balance. And going to an expo for 3 hours on a Wednesday night, it might just be a lot. And is that how you want to market yourself? Is doing the chair massages? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think in this new age of technology, there's a more efficient way of doing marketing that maybe also feels a little bit more organic. If giving a chair massage in an expo at a mall isn't organic to you, people aren't going to believe you. They're just not. If you don't fully love what you are doing, they're not going to buy into it, and they're not going to want to come in because it doesn't feel genuine. So when I joined the team, marketing was the first things that I talked about with Dr. Jessie. She's like, look, we do a lot of social media and it goes like this. And she was not wrong. We change our marketing plan monthly, roughly, because there's always new ideas coming in, and we're looking at the trends. We're looking on how is our social media doing, because that's where we do all of our marketing. 99% of our patients have a phone, and 99% of them have an Instagram. So why would we just not utilize that for our marketing form rather than going out for 3 hours on a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon to get patients in? Because that's not where our target patients are. So why would we put ourselves in that space? Marketing here at CHIRO for Moms and as a clinic is a team effort, and it is a beautifully choreographed team effort. Everybody has their strengths, and we play to those strengths as much as we possibly can. It's divided amongst all 10 team members. That's a jumble of words. It's not just the doc's responsibility to do the marketing for themselves. We are marketing the clinic, not just the docs. Once a patient comes here, they are a patient of the clinic. They can see whoever they want to see, whatever works in their schedule based on how the schedule is formed. One doc might not be in one day, so knowing that they're going to get a very similar treatment from a different doc is incredible. So when it comes to marketing, right, rather than saying, I'm Dr. Abby and I do X, Y, and Z and this and that, we all do the same, but we market the clinic as a whole. And the way that that looks is a week by week structure. Each of us have our plan. So my plan specifically is Mondays, I do a lot of social media engagement. I am connecting with my patients most of the time via Instagram, sometimes via email if I'm checking in on patients. Maybe they have a doctor's appointment I wanted to follow up on, or they have, their kid's birthday party and I want to know, like, how was it? How's your body feeling after taking care of 13 kids? Do we need anything, right? And then on Tuesdays, I'm talking to you guys. I'm responsible for getting everything posted up on Tuesdays. It's no one else's responsibilities. Wednesdays, then, I'm responsible on the mom's account for getting our Let's Have a Ball series up. So each week is a different theme, and we target towards our postpartum mamas for this, really stretching through different trouble areas, through the shoulder, through the neck, through the low back, through the wrist, you name it, we got stretches for it. Really trying to make it a community. Thursdays, I am off from posting, so I typically do a lot of engagement. And then Friday is when our dances go up, and it is the best day of the week. I think if I asked all my patients, they would say Friday's their favorite to see what dances we are posting up that day. We may look silly, we may look great. I never know. We all have our strengths, and each of us have a different component. So there's always someone posting up on some social media page and responsible for those reels. It makes the work feel small, but it makes the big picture huge, because we always have content going out somewhere, but it's not just one person's responsibility. Taking the weight off of marketing for yourselves, it's so much more genuine when you can just speak your truth on what you're speaking that day, what you're feeling. Tying that into then the overall structure. So we may have mentioned it before, but I am not adjusting 40 hours a week. There is no doc here that is adjusting 40 hours a week. It's a lot on the bodies, especially when we're adjusting as long of appointments as we do and much muscle work as we do. It can just take its toll. So we do 32 hours adjusting and then 8 hours at home. That 8 hours at home helps to take the burden off of having to go home after working 40 hours a week. And now you're also expected to market on top of it, but you might also not get paid for it because you're outside of your 40 hours. Marketing is built into what I'm doing. It is a responsibility of me as a doc to market the entire clinic as a whole and what we're doing. It's not just marketing myself, because you're marketing the success of your clinic, and it's incredible work. Those 32 hours a week, I'm able to engage and post and film and do all the things, and it doesn't feel like just extra weight. But I say that with a grain of salt. The biggest thing from an associate taking it back, and I grew up with a lot of social media throughout high school and college, is it is a lot of screen time. And I would say that is the one downfall is I am scrolling my phone a lot. When I'm at home, I have to be very diligent about when I'm on my phone, when I'm on my computer, because to other people around me, it looks like I'm just scrolling and I'm constantly looking like I'm texting, and I am working. But it's just not a mindset of work that I think a lot of us are used to. So for any associate out there, create some boundaries for yourself. So I try my best to set my boundary at 8 p.m. I have nearly all of my social media stuff done by that time as much as I can. So that way I can really hone in on just being home and being with my partner and, giving him the attention that he needs in our relationship, and setting the boundaries then as an owner of a clinic and respecting that your docs have other areas in their lives that they're growing to and not just their career. So you might also have to be like, look, everyone shuts down at this time. We are not expected on stories to post outside of being the clinic, which is, a boundary that she has set for us. It really does help to kind of shut that screen time down. So it feels like a lot of times it can be a lot to feel like you're saying the right things and you're posting the right things, but as long as you're being genuine to who you are when it comes to marketing, it's beautiful to take that work off a little bit and not having to do it all on your own for yourself. Make it a team effort, divide and conquer, and use each other's strengths. Dive into one app first before going into others, and know that some people are just better at some apps than others. I'm really good at Instagram. I'm really good at CapCut. I am awful at WiseCut and trying to like chop videos together. It's just not my forte. So we divide and conquer. Can you chop this video for me? I will literally do everything else. Meet your associates where they're at is the best advice that I can take. And just know that when you start to market as a clinic and not as a doc, all of a sudden you will see this blossoming of cohesiveness amongst not just your team members, but the community that you're trying to build as well. So that was a lot of information. And if you have more questions about marketing, please leave them in the comments below. Subscribe. There's more information coming about the associate structure. Don't you worry. Have an incredible rest of your day, and we will catch you in the next one.